Hello and welcome back to Horrific Horror Review. I'm Jim King.
I'm Eric B.
Today we're going to talk about another Wolfcop.
Oh!
And I'm sure several other things. But we'll start with that. You watched it?
Wolf motherfucking cop! Yeah, I did.
Alright.
I watched the first Wolf Cop a few years ago because a friend of mine, werewolf guy, he's now Craig Hubble. Word up! he's a Navajo, so he's all into the skinwalker, shapeshifter, werewolf thing. Like that's his thing, and I don't know if Twilight has something to do with it. I don't know if that
Team Jacob?
Has there always been an association between Native Americans and werewolves?
I don't know enough about it to know. But
because
I think so.
I kind of get that impression, because he's real hardcore into werewolf movies. Like that's his shit. He recommended it to me. He was like, "Dude, you got this fucking shit is crazy. It's a cop. He turns into a werewolf. He's a werewolf cop." Okay. And so I watched it, and it was he's beer drinking kind of. It's a lot like if you took the sheriff from Needful Things and made him a little bit more despicable,
all right,
and a little bit more fun, a little bit more of a scoundrel, and made him a werewolf. It would be that,
right?
Very similar. Small town sheriff,
5 o'clock shadow, drunk,
drinking. He's a beer drinker.
He's the sheriff, but he's at the bar every night.
He's at, or like Sylvester Stallone, Copland, the loser sheriff, local sheriff,
So, I stumbled upon it on Hulu. That's how I found it. It fell into my recommendations, and I was like, look at this B-movie looking piece of shit.
Oh, the original Wolf Cop?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, oh, this has got to be good.
Yeah,
because I like that kind of shit, So I'm like, and it didn't disappoint at all. I fell in love with it the first time I saw it.
It's a fun flick.
And I'm really embarrassed to admit this because I should have followed it. I know at the end of the first one it said, be looking out for another Wolf Cop or Wolf
Cop will return.
Yeah.
Like James Bond.
So I found out, this was 2 weeks ago, I think, is when I told you about it. I found out there was another Wolf Cop by walking through frickin' Walmart.
That's right.
And I saw the Blu-ray, and I was like, no shit.
No way.
And my first thought was, oh shit, I can't believe there's another Wolf Cop. And then my second thought was, oh shit, I can't believe it's at Walmart.
I found out about it through Walmart.
Because, I can't believe that they sell it, Walmart.
These Mormon motherfuckers!
They got all that, explicit lyrics bullshit, you learned years ago not to ever buy a CD at Walmart.
Oh my god.
But they got something that shows a fucking wolf dork.
Yeah, well, they've loosened up a lot.
Apparently.
In the last, I'd say, 6 years.
Right.
They've
tightened their grip on the firearms and releasing some
weird,
movies.
Right?
Right?
Weird, yeah, that's true.
Still buy shotgun shells there with no ID.
I do love his car in the second one.
Okay.
The big old red W on the hood.
Well, they had it in the first one, too.
Yeah,
he built it. Yeah, he built that in the first one.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
I was really
There was
bummed
like a building my hot rod montage.
Dude, it was so 18. There's a car and a blowtorch and some good background music. And before you know it, he's got a supercharger. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute. I love the red lights underneath that W in the hood. I was really bummed that they ruined the car so quick in the second movie.
Right away.
It was right off the get.
Right away. The way the cherries, the cop lights, are on the top, they're not horizontal, they run front and back.
Right.
That was really weird,
Like a mohawk.
Yeah, like a mohawk. Right. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It was cool. I loved his
It was
fucking
something to do different, right?
Yeah, I loved his car. But one thing I noticed when I was, I was looking at the movie posters and shit for it, the official movie posters, for it. Dude, the fucking movie poster for another Wolf Cop is an homage to the Cobra movie poster.
Totally.
I was like, fuck you, dude.
Right.
Fuck your asshole. This is so cool. I love Cobra.
Yeah, me too.
That's probably my favorite Stallone movie.
Fuck, man, that car.
Everything.
And the axes.
Everything about that movie. was
and so bad
fucking
at the same
sick.
time, but it was
Well, yeah, it was terrible. So great.
all right.
So fucking good. I loved Cobra. So that immediately I was like, oh, these guys know what a good movie is. Do you know what I mean? These guys know what
They're
want
paying
to
tribute
see.
to the right stuff.
Mm-hmm,
right?
Mm-hmm. It's one of the best, just ridiculous cop movies ever. Just one-man army cop movies, you know. And Wolfcop is a one-man army cop movie. You
Pretty
know,
much.
he's fucking Wolfcop taking on the fucking, you know, an organization.
Right?
You know.
And in this installment, we've got Dark Star Brewery.
What's chicken milk?
Grab yourself a cold cock.
That's the name of it?
Chicken milk.
Chicken milk?
Yes.
Chicken milk.
Yes. It
Beer.
says, their slogan is "Slam a cold cock."
Slam a cold cock.
Yeah. Chicken milk stout.
And it was the company's owned by like it's the horror movie standard stereotype rich business owner who is fucking over the town in order to, you know, like
And
that
at the same time,
he's the Cochrane of the movie, you know.
exactly.
You
That's who he reminded me of. As
Yeah.
a very young version of
Halloween 3.
Halloween 3.
Kyle
Always back to
Cochran.
it. And you know, I had a lot of feel of that. And not just because it was a brewery movie in a weird situation, but it felt very Strange Brew. It was so Strange Brew. I mean, right down to the hockey.
I can't help but think that they are definitely like paying some nod to Strange Brew.
Yeah, for sure.
If
It's
you-
very Canadian influence, the entire
If you're not
situation.
familiar with Strange Brew, I suggest going and immediately renting it and
Right.
watching it or buying it because it's worth owning.
The
You'll
McKenzie
watch
brothers,
it
you'll
multiple
watch it.
times.
Yes.
It's based upon a skit that was on SCTV, which was like a competitor to Saturday Night Live in the early 80s.
Canadian version.
Canadian
of Saturday
version,
Night, yeah.
And the McKenzie brothers were these two Canadian drunks who just had their own show.
Do anything about drinking beer. It was all about
The
drinking
Great
beer.
White North.
Yep.
And it's a movie based on those two clowns.
Yep.
And it's one of, you know, like the Blues Brothers, it was one of the first skits turned into a major movie.
Right.
And it wasn't nearly as popular as the Blues Brothers, but
Oh,
I
no,
remember
nowhere
it
near, but
being really popular as a little kid.
when I was a kid, it was another one of those movies that they showed like 3 times a day
All
on
the
Showtime.
time, right?
It was like I watched it probably 40 times over a summer break.
I remember that fucking movie being on TV all the time.
Right.
And it's a fucking weird fucking movie, man.
It is.
It is weird.
It's got a creepy
as fuck.
soundtrack. It's really weird. It's right when the synthesizer got real big
It's
too.
the
Confusing
brewery
shit out of it.
/ hospital for the mentally insane.
that they forced to play hockey.
Yeah, and dude, their hockey uniforms, their hockey armor,
Right.
I should say, was fucking sick.
Right.
The black armor and the white armor.
Totally. It was like
Yeah.
chess.
Oh, it was so good.
So
man.
now that you've seen the movie, we were talking about this earlier. What do you think of the hockey jerseys in another World
Oh,
Cup?
I want one.
I want one. So
I want
bad.
one so
The
bad.
fucking pentagram with the hockey sticks.
I
to it.
really want one.
It was
I
cool.
like hockey jerseys. I used to really like hockey in my late teens, early 20s. When Jeremy Roenick first left the Blackhawks and came to the Coyotes, when the Coyotes went Phoenix I was a huge Roenick guy. I immediately went and got a Phoenix Coyotes jersey, Roenick jersey. You know, it's $200 fucking bucks.
Right.
Man.
Yeah, they don't fuck around with that.
And it was an ugly ass fucking jersey.
Fucking
The Coyotes jersey used to be the original,
Yeah.
ugly as fuck.
Yeah,
but
I
I was a
remember when it
Roenick
first
guy.
came out.
I supported my fucking dude. But I like my hockey jerseys, and I want one really fucking bad. I'm sure I can find one.
I'm sure.
You know,
I'm sure the internet's great.
the beauty of the internet. There's everything.
So this movie had more explosions, more gore, more slapstick,
Typical,
lots of drinking.
typical
They had
sequel upgrades.
yeah, pretty much. Budget
Yeah.
got a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
They had a. So what was your take? Did you think that the girl was a female werewolf, or was she a fucking cat?
Okay, here. You know what I thought of when I was watching it? And I'm not willing to say either way. Remember The Howling?
Yes.
Remember at the end where the newscaster woman changes on camera? Remember?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Remember how her werewolf looked...
Female.
Different.
Yes.
Almost feline and almost...
Yeah.
It reminded me of that a lot.
Got you.
A lot.
Right.
It had feline qualities for sure.
Right.
It might have been.
It was hard to tell because she took her skin off.
Right.
To change. Like
she seemed like a skinwalker?
I guess.
You know?
I don't know.
Do you know what the deal is?
But to let you in on this, there is wolf sex.
Oh, yeah. And because, dogs have multiple mammaries.
Yeah.
Get ready for
6
that.
boobs.
Yeah. Weird. He loves them all. Fucking,
they brought back the original cast, which I loved.
Yes, they did.
It was pretty solid.
He's a cool-looking werewolf, too.
He is a cool-looking werewolf. It looked a little bit different this time.
Didn't it? The ears, man.
Yeah. It looked more thriller.
I thought so, too. I thought Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is still a solid werewolf.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not knocking it. I just thought it looked more,
So we've got an appearance by Kevin Smith.
I love him.
As the mayor. I do, too. And he played a good part. It was small, but it was definitely fun.
I also gotta, bringing up Kevin Smith, go watch Hollyweed.
Oh, yeah, I remember you wanted to talk about that.
Support Hollyweed.
Support Hollyweed.
Please. I think it's a good movie, good TV show.
It's Kevin Smith.
I hope it takes
can't remember the other guy's name, but he used to be on the Chappelle Show.
He used to be on the Chappelle Show.
And he's real funny. He was the bald guy. He's the guy that always said, rich bitch. Fucking. But they're running a dispensary. You can get the first episode free on YouTube.
Yep.
And then go to a link that is
and the girl in
trying to be
Smilf.
Publicly funded. Yeah.
The girl that writes and stars in Smilf is the porn actress that rips them off.
In the first episode, yeah. But it seems like maybe she might have a recurring role.
You think? I hope so.
I hope so, because I liked her character.
I liked her character, too.
But I liked their candid conversation.
Mm-hmm.
He talked her out of doing her first anal on her birthday.
Right.
Which was pretty fun.
You're better than that.
Right.
You deserve
that. Yeah, check that out.
Yeah. But he's the mayor. Kevin Smith's the mayor and another wolf cop. And, it's your typical fucking goofy cameo.
Yeah. And I thought it was great that he was wearing a hockey jersey like he always does, but he's wearing a Dark Star one.
He's a hockey jersey guy.
And he was all about that chicken milk.
I loved his hat, too.
So I guess we haven't really broke it down. The movie's premise is Dark Star Industries, Dark Star Brewery, whatever, giant company moves into the shithole town of Wolfcop. And they're going to open up this brewery, and they're going to bring in a hockey team, and they're going to save this shithole of a town.
We're going to save the town.
But
the brewery.
The underlying thing is he's got something in this chicken milk that...
chicken milk beer.
Yeah.
There's something in the milk.
It plants a baby inside you. And then when you turn on what looked to be an Ice Capades toy flashlight... bless you, Amanda. It spins around and does like some kind of harmonization, and it makes the baby bust out of you just like Alien, like right out to your stomach.
Like a chest burster.
Yes,
from Aliens.
Yes, and so
what the fuck is fucking inside me?
It's Wolfcop's job to stop this from happening, obviously.
Right,
which turns into a really awesome, gory hockey fight. It was one of my favorite parts of the movie.
It was cool.
Hockey shit, anyway.
Yep, that's it. That's the movie.
That was the movie.
In a nutshell. It's not winning any Oscars, but it's definitely fun.
It's a good time.
If you're fucking not doing anything else, it's not. It's definitely. I'd leave it on.
Exactly.
Right? I'd leave it on.
So I watched the movie last night, completely off subject, but I'd never seen it before, and it's been around for a long time. Not a long time, but long enough for me to have seen it. I stumbled across it again, stupid Netflix, just pushing stuff down my throat that I've never seen or clicked on or rated or whatever. Last night I watched Pandorum.
I know the.
Do you know this movie?
I know the title, and I'm sure I've seen it. What's it about?
They're in space. The the world has
Matt
ended.
Damon?
And they, no, not Matt Damon. It was the main character.
That's Elysium. Sorry. Shut.
Yeah, that was Elysium.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Matt Damon. That was a turd. I don't like it. This is the world's ended. We've run out of resources, and they've basically built like a Noah's Ark. It's got
Is it Jennifer Lawrence?
no. I'm trying to think. The main
Oh
character
fuck,
is,
Dennis Quaid.
Yes, thank you.
I knew I'd get there eventually.
Yeah, and it's got a really good plot twist. Actually, I didn't see the end coming as far as Dennis Quaid's character.
Okay, wait. As far as that character, that
Yeah,
plot twist,
just
there's a
his
couple
character.
plot twists.
Yeah, there's several that you
That's
don't see
the one
coming.
that you're.
But that was one of the ones where I was like, oh, because they've created this character that you know has gone bad, and he's the one who's fucked everything up, kind of, and you keep thinking it's this younger guy, and because of the situation, and then you find out that it's Dennis Quaid later, and he's been awake for years. He's been woken up out of high
Don't tell him too much.
Whatever. Yeah, yeah. It's got a great plot twist at the very end.
Yeah.
The ship is really cool. The mutant alien.
They're not aliens.
They're not aliens. They're mutants.
They're people. They're human beings.
Human beings that have been fed through feeding tubes. The process of accelerated evolution. And then when they woke up, they evolved.
And
while
they've been living
people
on.
were sleeping.
This ship is massive.
Massive.
It's massive. It's like city-sized ship.
Yeah.
And
they're feeding off of the people as they wake up.
Yeah. But certain people woke up and have been breeding and evolving and breeding and evolving and living, and they're in an alien environment. So they have adapted to
living on the ship.
Living in this ship. They're
Which
not
was,
normal
they were supposed to
anymore.
adapt to live on this new planet.
Right.
And there's lots of little cool things in it.
Yes,
there was some solid horror. There's a lot of
gore.
Yeah. And
surprisingly enough, for a sci-fi kind of arc movie,
I was expecting another kind of Event Horizon. I guess when I clicked on it is what I thought was going to happen. I wasn't expecting much out of it. It was just a time killer.
I liked it,
and I liked it. I did like it. I'm a sucker for a good space movie anyway. I love aliens, and I say
my favorite thing about that movie is the end.
Me too.
The very end.
Yes.
I was like, shut the fuck up.
When they finally made it onto the captain's bridge and got to open the doors and see what they were dealing with, or the windows, and see what they were dealing with,
yep.
I did not see that coming.
No, I did not. And that's very rare.
Yeah.
I usually see it coming for a fucking 100 miles,
right?
And I'm just not shocked. That big shock. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Very surprised.
And it seemed like they set it up perfect for part 2. If it would have done anything better, it didn't do well.
I think they told their story.
But at the end, it was like year 1 on this new planet. Whatever.
Right.
It'd be interesting to see what they did with that. And I was really curious. I can't say anything else without ruining it.
Yeah.
But check this movie out. It's on Netflix right now.
You can't be super specific about that movie. You can't
because there's so many
because it ruins. Yeah.
And every time you meet a new character, they have a new version or a new story or a new take on what's been going on, and you really don't ever get the real deal to the last fucking 5 minutes of this movie.
Last fucking
and then you're like,
couple of minutes.
Like you said, it wasn't one of those endings I saw coming
at all,
which was great because I love that when that happens.
Yeah, me too.
Kind of like the end of Life. Do you remember that? Like, it was one capsule got shot deep into space and one went back down to Earth, and it was the opposite of what you thought it would be. You did? You thought the monster was going to come up out of that capsule?
Oh,
I didn't see that coming.
For
I thought it was fucking great.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was great. But as soon as those things hit each other and one went this way and the other, I knew what was happening.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you see see the monster, you see Calvin pulling his... The he knows what he's doing.
Oh yeah, he's a smart alien.
Yeah, we're going this way. Yeah.
So check that out though, Pandorum. If you haven't already seen it, I know I'm late to the game, but it was pretty good.
Well, it was probably 10 years, 12.
I think it said like 2007 or something.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't remember, but
it's a cool movie though. that one actor who's the main hero of the movie, I forget his name. He gets a lot of critical acclaim, but he doesn't get a lot of...
I don't see... He's the main character, the main guy, the engineer, the guy we're following around.
Uh-huh.
The only thing I remember really knowing him from, and I don't fully remember it, but he was a cowboy with really fucking bad teeth, and he was a bad guy, and he was part of like a fucking gang.
And it was the Russell Crowe 310 to Yuma.
Is it? Maybe
he wasn't 310 to Yuma.
That might be him.
I'm not sure. I don't remember him having.
He's one of those characters that I guess that he's really good at his job, making you hate him.
Yeah,
like I didn't care for the character when the movie first started out. When I started watching Pandorum, and I realized, okay, here's our main character. I was pretty bummed. It was him waking up Dennis Quaid that made me go, okay, I'll keep watching it because I like this guy.
Okay,
so he did a great job in the movie.
That actor.
I don't care for him in what I've seen him in. But he did a great job in this one. It was believable, and it was... I
remember seeing him in was in the Thomas Jane Punisher movie. He's the guy with all that shit in his face. All the fucking piercings and shit.
Is he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know that movie. I have that movie.
And he gets all the piercings yanked out, and he won't give up Frank. He wouldn't give up the Punisher,
Right.
And that was cool. That's straight from the comics, actually. That kid doesn't give up Frank. It was pretty cool. I like that they included that in the movie. Why they put... I'm sorry, real quick side note. Why the fuck they put the Punisher in fucking Florida instead of fucking New York where he fucking belongs? I'll never fucking understand.
It's a nicer place to retire.
Fucking Florida. The Punisher in Florida. Fuck you.
Too much humidity for that suit.
I'm walking around in a flak jacket and a leather fucking trench coat in Florida. Fuck you. But anyways.
Yeah.
Dennis Quaid is the captain, captain of the ship, right?
Yeah.
He's like the main man. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Can't talk about it.
Yeah. Well, we'll go there. He's the main man. He's the man in the chair. He's Captain Kirk chair.
So again, on another side note, I just watched another movie that everyone has seen but me. I was never interested in it. I was doing my weekly pawn shop looking for gems, cheap movies.
You've been finding some too, motherfucker.
Yeah, pretty decent.
You found something the other day where I was like, I want that.
What did I find?
I was looking at him. I was like, my mouth was dripping.
What was it?
I don't know. I can't remember. You showed me a stack of fucking movies.
Oh, I know what it is. I found Phoebes 2.
Motherfucking fucker. Fuck.
I did.
Fuck.
For $1.
Fucking fuck.
Not even taxes.
It's Dr. Fives Rises Again.
Yeah.
Motherfuck. So
I picked up The Strangers unrated director's cut.
I've never seen it.
Okay, me
never
either.
Seen The Strangers.
Me either. And
there's a sequel that's out.
Yes, there is, and I heard it didn't do that well. But
really?
It's
in a trailer park, right?
I don't know.
Okay.
Not the first one. The
second one's at a trailer park.
The first one was like a remote house.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anything about it, really. It just, I guess the trailers or whatever it was just didn't strike my fancy, and I just didn't care about it.
For the first one?
Yeah. And I know there's like a big following behind it.
It's huge,
Yeah. And so I decided for $1 at a pawn shop, I'll buy the director's unrated cut and check it out. What's the worst thing that can happen,
Right.
So I watched it like 2 nights ago. I didn't realize that it had Liv Tyler in it. Which I think she's decent as an actress. I liked her in Lord of the Rings and shit.
Okay.
And Armageddon, I guess. Guilty pleasure.
Hey.
So exactly. Guilty pleasure.
I love you!
I know. So anyway, I watched this movie and it was scary in a very realistic way. I've come to the conclusion that if you really want to terrify a couple at a remote house, coming in a group of 3 is fucking brilliant. You can always have somebody at the front door, you can always have somebody at the back door, and you can always have somebody keeping tabs on the people.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing how they always managed to be one of them wherever the problem was happening. It was really cool.
Yeah.
And they didn't talk. They didn't give a reason behind their actions. There was, they did eventually. Finally, at the end, the girl, Liv Tyler screaming. She's like, "Why did you fucking do this to us?" And the girl simply says, "Because you were fucking home."
Because you were home.
And it's
And
I'm not telling anybody to watch it because I know you already fucking watched it.
I think I remember that ending from another movie too.
Like You're Next.
Like no, it was
like
like
the same movie. Almost.
It was because you were home.
Almost right.
It was the exact like line.
There was no.
I forget what movie. I forget what movie it was. It was like why? Because you were home, and I forget what movie it was. But that's in another movie.
In itself, scary.
Just because you were fucking there, motherfucker.
You know, there was no monster. There was nothing. They looked like regular people with some very simplistic masks. The masks were scary in themselves. It reminded me of The Purge a little bit, but
very much.
I don't know which one came out first. Or so. It was good.
You know what? That's a good question.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
So I recently watched it. I'll let you borrow it. You know, it's worth a watch. And I'd never seen the original theatrical version, so I don't know what extras I got.
Oh, you got like the director's cut.
Yeah.
So you don't know what the fucko version looked like.
Yeah, I don't know what got added back to that.
Right. I gotcha. I haven't seen it yet. I don't. You know what kept me away from it? Honestly, the fuck. You know, Scott Speedman and fucking Liv Tyler. I just, I was like, fuck them.
Not interested, right?
He sucks. I don't like Scott Speedman.
Dude's best friend comes to save him at one point. Not to save him, comes to pick him up.
Okay.
And you ever watch Always Sunny in Philadelphia? You know the show?
Yeah.
You know Dennis? The guy who just thinks he's the shit?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That guy's the buddy that shows up to pick him up. And, like, I hate it in horror movies when people don't announce themselves. If it was me and I was there to pick up my buddy and I came and the front door's hacked open with an axe and there's fucking shitty, weird music playing.
That's what he walked into?
Yeah. I would be yelling for my buddy. I'd be like, every room, yelling.
From outside, I wouldn't walk in initially. I'd be like,
maybe not even.
Yo, dude!
Yeah.
What's going on?
Folks up, yeah.
You alright?
So, like, he doesn't identify himself as he's going through this house looking for his buddy.
Was he just silent?
Yeah, just walking around looking for him, and he's awestruck by the situation of the house and its dishevelment, you know.
Okay.
And Liv Tyler and her, boyfriend guy, they're like sitting in the corner of the only part of the house that has like brick wall on both sides, and they're backed up into it, and he's got a shotgun pointed straight forward, and he's ready to shoot the next fucking thing that comes down that hall, and it's his fucking buddy, and he shoots him in the fucking face with a shotgun. It's the only good shot he gets off to.
Does he kill him right off?
Right there, right dead.
He's dead right there.
He drops right there, and then he crawls out to like see his achievements, and he's like, "Oh my fucking god, it's my buddy."
Was it okay?
And then his, Liv Tyler's trying to look at it, and he's like, "Don't look, oh my god."
Oh really? She's trying to look at it.
Yeah.
Like, let me see.
He's like,
is he okay?
Tells her
like,
who
you don't want to see it.
Yeah, no.
It's fucking bad. He just took a fucking
success.
He just took a bunch of fucking buckshot to the face.
But it was a fun movie I think a lot about horror because I want to make movies and I'm into that stuff. And I look at a lot of how things would work out, and I see a lot of unrealistic things happen in horror movies.
The time.
And this one, like I said at the start, it was genius how there was 3 of them. And then, to me, it would be really hard to find 2 other people that were willing to go all the way with you on something like that. It felt very Charles Manson-y in the way you get people to follow you. But I mean, they didn't talk. There was no dialogue, but there was
getting people to murder other people together as a group. Almost it was like a culty group,
right? But there was just 3 of them.
It
was weird. And at the end of the movie, they actually stop and talk to these 2 like Mormon kids that are like riding their bikes around, spreading the word. And she gets out and asks for one of the pamphlets.
She got her mask on.
No. You just see the back of them. You don't see their face.
Oh,
they're in a
really?
pickup truck, and
really?
And they're driving down this dirt road, and they see the kids, and the kids eventually ride down the road the rest of the way and find the house with the victims and everything.
Okay, interesting.
It's fucking madness. But again, another movie that everyone in the world's seen, and it just slipped through the cracks.
I haven't.
I didn't have a lot of interest in it.
Yeah, I don't see everything.
Yeah,
I don't see everything.
It had to present itself in the form of 98 cents and no tax.
I'm a big believer in, if you want your horror movie to be realistic, and real, and you don't want it to have, like, those mistakes, like, well, that's stupid, because you gotta write your movie and like, just go over it 8,000 times.
Right?
You just gotta keep going through it and be like, well, how could this,
How could you
in what way could this scenario be fucked? You know what I mean? Like, how could he get caught? How could he get caught? What are ways he could get caught? Because someone's going to watch this movie and be like, oh man, if he did that, blah, 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 this, he'd be caught. So you need to,
like me. I'm the guy looking at the TV going, really? Like, there's a guy in your house that's murdered you and you ran upstairs. Not out the front door.
You need to go through that shit over and over and over.
You got to go through like that stoner dude from Cabin in the Woods' list, and Jamie Kennedy from the first Scream. When he's making
Can I just say I hated that character?
I liked it.
I fucking hated it, but I hate Scream.
Hate Scream though, so
fucking
count.
Hate it so much. I remember when Scream came out, they're like, horror's back, and I'm like, fuck you. It didn't go anywhere. You're a piece of shit for saying that. That's some fucking gimmicky fucking sales bullshit that you're using. Horror's back, and this is the new horror, and fucking, fuck. Ugh, I don't get Scream. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I don't get it. It's not gory enough. Fucking dude's not scary enough. Like, it didn't scare me.
Did you watch the first one? Do you remember?
I saw it in the theater.
Okay.
It didn't scare me even a little bit. Not even a little. Like, I'm watching the whole movie.
You didn't see the humor in it.
I was really hoping these people would fucking die. And I thought the horror movie kind of like, I don't know, that fourth wall kind of was really weak. And like, it was like the most obvious lame shit, you know? It's like, he didn't strike me as being like I don't know. He seemed very pedestrian. Do you know what I mean?
All right.
I just
didn't sell you on it. I get it.
Fucking hate it. I hate it. I want to punch Ghostface right in his dick. The fact that he's up there with Freddy and fucking Jason and shit just fucking boils my blood, dude. It's
what happens when you make 5 of them.
I get there are elements of it, like I get the idea of Ghostface is always someone different. Like, that's kind of cool. Like, it's a mantle. Mm-hmm. That idea, I think, is a great idea, and I think needs to be revisited in a movie that I would like. Clearly, there's something to Scream because people love it. Like, people love Scream, and I don't explain it to me. Well, what do you like about it? Like, I'm not, I always afford
like
other people
aspect,
like their opinions on shit. Like, you're not stupid because you like something I don't like.
No,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Everybody sees something different.
Oh, totally, man. One day I might turn on Scream and fucking love it. Do you know what I mean? But I'm not fucking there yet. Not even close. So what, tell me what about it is about Scream.
Other than the personal backstory reasons, like with the cheating mom and dad and all that stuff in the first one.
Why did that appeal to you?
No, it didn't. I said other than that, getting that part of the story aside, I didn't buy into it as much. Okay. I liked the fact of the 2 kids, like, thinking they could just fucking get away with it.
The boys?
Yeah. I really liked Matthew Lillard's character. I loved when
Matthew
he got
Lillard was really hot.
He saved that movie, is what he did. It was his comic relief of...
He was hot shit at the time.
Yeah, and just fucking with somebody to that level. I loved how it started, to be honest with you. It sold me on the fact that he was quizzing fucking...
the phone call?
Yeah, he was quizzing Drew Barrymore. And they got in the argument about her favorite character being Jason, but Jason... And he's answering the thing.
Wrong, bitch!
Yeah, it was the mother, in the first one. Everybody knows that. Yeah. I liked that. I thought it was fun. It sucked me in from the get-go. I think lately I've been on a mission of real people situations. Like, I love monster movies, don't get me wrong, I love them. I have Frankenstein tattooed on me, but Frankenstein's a monster. Right. Anyway. I've been really into real-life applications, scary things that can happen to real people that could really possibly get away with.
Right.
And so I think the premeditation is what intrigued me about it, how much they put into trying to get away with this and killing their classmates. I have to bring this up. It's a different movie, but it's the same appeal for me. Have you ever seen the movie RSVP?
Can't say that I have, no.
It needs to go on your watch list. right now.
Okay.
It's another premeditation movie. It's a guy that invites a bunch of people that are his close friends to
Oh!
and he's going to kill them all. And the survivor stoner character, of course, is Jason Mewes.
I think you've told me about this movie.
Maybe.
At work.
Probably.
We were sitting in section 23.
Probably.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And again, it's the you would never expect situation that happens. You would never think someone you know, even personally, would invite you to a party to kill you and all of his other friends, you know?
Right.
And has the backstory enough to be blaming someone else and invited that person to be the person that gets blamed for it, you know? Like, not only does he want to kill off a bunch of his friends, but he wants to fucking get away with it. Yeah, totally.
So
he's got a patsy he brings.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get
so it's a good movie. How about you? You seen any good movies lately?
I want to watch fucking Phantoms.
Fucking Phantoms?
Yeah, man. I was sitting.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm sitting.
Like you're talking Ben Affleck?
Yeah. Okay.
Like Phantom's like a motherfucker, yo.
Yeah. You were the bomb in Phantoms, yo.
Right? That's all I know it from. I've never watched it.
You never seen Phantoms?
No.
Oh, fuck!
I am not a Ben Affleck fan at all.
I can't say that I'm a huge Affleck guy. Like, I
can think of a lot of things I like him in and a lot that I don't.
Right. So
I can't even look at him since he became Batman. I can't even look at the
fucking Phantoms.
Like a motherfucker, yo. You gotta say it like that, right?
I saw it at the Dollar Theater in high school.
Okay. I miss those.
Great. $1.50. Yeah. Go see a fucking flick. Shit sticking in your shoes.
Always.
I saw Phantoms at the $1.50 theater, the Dollar Theater at Bremertown in Chicago. And it was... it's... So, throughout history, there are... civilizations that just disappear, and not just civilizations, but like a town, like a village.
Okay.
Like there will be this valley in Germany with a couple villages in it, and one day like a merchant will roll through. He rolls through there every year, and picks up a bunch of shit, and everyone's gone.
Town's still there.
Town's
just
still
fake
there.
it.
The people are gone.
Okay,
everyone's gone. And there are, and they're legit stories. Like, there are towns, villages, throughout settlements throughout history where you'll come across them and everyone's gone. Like, I was here last year, or I was here 2 years ago, or I have a brother here. Everyone is gone. I think the most recent one was like 100 years ago.
Even the Burgermeister?
Yeah, even the Burgermeister? He's motherfucker's gone. And there's this professor who has a theory about why this happens, and it has to do with the world's oldest organism. It's like, what's the word? It's like oil-based?
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a carbon-based life form.
Right.
Like, it's more like living oil.
Okay.
Okay. And it's you know what it is? I no shit. It's like a black version of the Blob.
Okay.
Is what this movie is.
That's what I was thinking of.
It is. It's a little more animated. Like it can control its matter a little bit with a little more control.
It can create shape.
And this is because
like the abyss with the water.
But black and gross, and not as pretty. Because this thing it absorbs the knowledge of the people that it sort of sucks up, the animals that it's
it just absorbs you.
It eats you. Yeah.
Okay. And it does.
It definitely
it's not just humans,
but it retains.
wildlife.
It eats any organic anything.
Okay.
Not really trees and shit.
And it'll just come in and take out a whole village at one time.
It'll come up out of the ground, take the whole town, and then disappear again.
Back to slumber.
And then back to sleeping.
Again.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And you figure it eats 25,000 people. It's going to go back to sleep for another couple hundred. 100 years. You know what I mean?
So this guy's got a theory on this,
and it's intelligent. You know, it purposefully seeks out villages or population centers that are separated by other ones.
Okay.
Because it doesn't want to be hunted. You know what I mean? It just
right. So this is what happens with Incas in my head.
Yeah, Ben Affleck is a sheriff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's got a great fucking coat though. And Rose
and
McGowan's
he's the sheriff of a town that's
he's like next. A local sheriff or something. Something happens. I don't know. This thing comes and you know, it gets down to the your typical group of lone survivors, right? One of them knows
the people on the box cover.
One of them's got a theory,
right?
You know what I mean? There's always but Peter O'Toole.
Okay.
Is the professor who has theories about this entity. Okay. So it's just, you know what, man? It's a fun, stupid, fucking horror movie. It's not good, but
that's on your radar right now. Huh?
I woke up this morning, had a smoke, slammed a Red Bull, had another hoo-ha, and fucking all of a sudden I'm like, you know what? You know when you're just sitting there and you're like, what do I want to watch? What do I want to watch? I got time. I finally got time to my fucking self. What do I want to watch? And I'm like, fucking Phantoms has been popping up lately. Like, man, I want to watch me some fucking Phantoms. But, yeah. I also read a comic book I want to tell you about real quick.
All right.
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader comic book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you know about Admiral Thrawn?
No, not really.
Okay.
I know it. Like, I've heard it. But I couldn't tell you anything about it. You know me, I follow the universe pretty much through movies. I don't do the books anymore.
He's an Imperial... He's one of the few characters that's... since they've gotten rid of all of the extra universe shit, like all that stuff that was canon, that isn't anymore, he's one of the few characters that came over from the stuff that isn't. He's still canon.
Okay.
You know how the Empire... is mostly human. You know, it's human. Like they're kind of like like the Nazis. They're very superior. So. Humans are superior.
Right.
He's one of the few alien races that are a member of the Empire, the Imperial Navy, and he's an admiral. Like he's up there. But they're humanoid. Like he's just a human with blue skin. Gotcha. Like black, blue hair and red eyes. Like they're wicked looking. He's cool looking. And anyway, he's super intelligent, which is why he is where he is. Otherwise, he wouldn't be. And this comic, it puts Admiral Thrawn, and this is, I can't remember. This takes place before the first Death Star. First Death Star is blown up. Okay, so before A New Hope.
Right.
Between
3 and 4.
Yeah, between 3 and 4. And Thrawn gets put with Vader. They need to go to this planet to do something. And this is a planet that Admiral Thrawn has been on with Anakin Skywalker back during the Clone Wars.
Okay.
And he has weird suspicions that Vader might be Skywalker.
Okay.
And no one's supposed to know this shit. Like, Anakin Skywalker died during the Clone Wars, during the whole Purge thing and everything. Vader's another guy.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how they play it.
Right.
And, but Thrawn, this guy, he's super smart, and you can see there are things about his body language. There's just something, the way he habits, the way he stands behind the Emperor in a way that Anakin did. Just certain things, And he kind of starts to fuck with Vader in a way that people don't fuck with Vader.
Right.
He's kind of like, he starts bringing up Anakin Skywalker.
Right.
And Vader's just like, at first he's just like, and then eventually he starts getting irritated. Like, why do you keep bringing up this motherfucking Skywalker motherfucker?
Right.
He's dead.
Right.
Well, I don't know. Why are you getting so tense about it?
Right.
Thrawn's like, and he's just like, ugh. Right. They go to this planet. where he was during the Clone Wars. Thrawn had visited with Anakin Skywalker, and he starts talking about things that he and Skywalker did there. And Skywalker saved his life on that planet. Like, the only reason why he's still alive and an admiral in the Imperial Navy is because Anakin Skywalker saved his life on this planet.
Okay.
And he starts bringing shit up. And, like, eventually at first he's talking about me and Anakin did this, Skywalker did that, and then he starts going, remember when we did this, we did that?
Right. Dupes him into
fucking Vader, at one point Vader kind of catches himself and it's like, kind of freaks out on him, like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, stop. You know, stop. I know what you're doing. Right. Stop. And he's like, that dude's dead. And he keeps saying that. Like, he keeps repeating, like, Anakin Skywalker is fucking dead. Stop bringing that up. And at one point, towards the end of the book, Vader, like, and every time Vader fucks with him, he'll read him with the dark side of the Force and be like, does he know?
Right.
But Thrawn's slick. He's like, either he's just neutral. He's just like, maybe he's alive, maybe he isn't. Who knows?
Right.
But he's not he knows enough about the Force and about Vader to know that he's not going to be thinking, I know you're Vader.
Right.
Because that's a death sentence, you know?
Right.
But towards the end of the book, he says it's like the ultimate like throw. I forget what he fucking says exactly, but Vader is like looks at him in the face and gets like mask right up to his face. He's like, Anakin Skywalker is fucking dead, dude. Like, stop.
Okay.
And dude's like he's his race, Thrawn. They have a little bit of natural force ability.
Okay.
And he can feel it with the Force. Like, he's right. Anakin Skywalker is dead. Like, this isn't him. Like, this really is another guy.
Right.
And finally, like, Vader can feel that change in him. He goes from neutral to being like, oh, Anakin Skywalker is dead.
Right.
But what he doesn't know is that Thrawn knows this is Anakin.
Right.
But that, you know, that guy is that person gone. That is gone. Right. You know what I mean? But he knows it's Anakin. He does, like, for sure.
That's pretty
and
cool.
It's cool. It was a really cool, and
cool
Vader
story thing.
Vader was kind of like exhausted from the whole affair. Do you know what I mean? Like, you could tell the whole, like, it wore him out the way a fucking lightsaber fight couldn't. You know what I mean? Like, it was a super cool comic, man. A lot of fun. Some of those comics are really good lately, especially the Vader ones have been really, like, it's like, wow. Some really good writing, man.
So much to dive into.
You know, some of that shit's really bad and it's not worth fucking with, you know?
Yeah.
But they've been hiring some really good writers to do some really, really good shit. I mean, really good shit, man. It's fun. I love comics, though.
I know.
I'm a fucking bitch.
I used to. It became too costly for me.
It's so expensive, dude.
It's too costly.
You know.
You go to pick up what was in my box, and they're like, $221, please.
I'll maybe go every 2 months and buy $20 worth of comics.
Yeah.
Which is nothing, you know. It's like 5 comics, 6 comics. Yeah. Or or 1, depending upon what you're, you know, getting, you know. But it's an expensive habit.
Right.
Very much so. If you got a girlfriend, it's even worse. But, you know, you got to get a girlfriend that likes a trip to the comic book store every once in a while. That is the key. That's where you want to go.
So on that note, watch another Wolfcop.
Watch Phantoms for me, because I want to watch it.
All right, thanks for listening. We'll catch you next time. Phantoms, yo.
Shit, Phantoms, yo.